Welcome back mga kaibigan, good evening! Summoners, I am Gigi Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
You're watching the Green Premier League Grade 14, the summer season. Dapat sa pagitan ng team IPT at team ng AHQ Fighters. Pero bago ang lahat, let's proceed muna sa ating schedule for tonight.
Yes, so a while ago at 6 p.m. we had the Neolution Full Lewis going head-to-head with AHQ Esports Club. Esports Club, of course, AHQ Esports Club picking up the first win tonight. TPA at 7 p.m. we had TPA versus Insidious Gaming Legends. The Assassins, of course, dominating that game, picking up the second win for the night. And, of course, AHQ Esports Club going for their second match of the night, picking up another victory, this time against Insidious Gaming Rebirth. So, for our final match tonight, which will be live now, is Imperial Pro Gaming Team versus AHQ Fighters. Of course, AHQ Fighters did knock out the sister team of Azubu Taipei Assassins, which is Taipei Sniper. So most likely the fighter will be no easy opponent for Imperial Pro Team. So,
not to mention, syempre sila yung sister team ng ating AHQ kung saan
yes.
Last season I think sila yung halos pumapangalawa lagi against TPA. And they are from Taiwan as well. So expect natin na sa ating one of the best teams sa ating GPL.
Yes.
So we'll see what team IPT might do sa laban na to. Hopefully they'll have something or
some kind of
strategy na possible na ipakita sa atin to win against AHQ Fighter. We never know what might happen dito. Sa ngayon, let's put up our hopes muna kung ano yung possible na gawin ng IPT to go against AHQ Fighter. Pero bago lahat, I think meron na ba tayong schedule? I mean, rankings? Scores? Yes, so far for our rankings ngayon sa ating GPL, as you can see, TPA still the number 1-2-0 score. I think hindi pa updated. Hindi pa na-update yung mga laban today. But we have TPA still in the top 2-0. Saigon Jewers 2-0. 2-1, sorry. HQ Fighter 2-1. Insidious Gaming Legends 1-1. Bangkok Titans 1-2. At Imperial Pro Gaming Team na 0-3. So far, ito yung Group A natin. And for our Group B, yes, we have AHQ Esports 2-0. So,
fourth now because they picked up 2 wins tonight.
Yes, so far, ito yung top 1. Maki Esports 2-1. And I think yung one na talo nila dito ay talagang na-dominate sila sa kanilang kalaban that time.
They went against HQ on the first day and
yes.
they went 0-15-0. They were mostly unprepared since they had a new player coming in within that week. And
Maki Esports is from Taiwan as well?
Yes, they are from Taiwan. They're actually a group of solo queue players who joined forces, and of course their mid laner Guru Kat left the team right before the GPL started. That's why they were not prepared at the first week.
Yes, we have Saigon Fantastic 5, rank 3, dalawang teams. We have Neolution Full Lewis for top 4. Or I mean 4, yes. We have top 5 no War God 0-2 and Insidious Gaming Rebirth 0-3. So far, let's proceed na sa ating picking phase for tonight. HQ versus IPT. Sorry, HQ Fighters versus IPT.
Alright, so on the blue side we have the Imperial Pro Team, and on the red side we have the HQ Fighters. First ban coming out from IPT is the Lee Sin, and coming from HQ Fighters we have the Nidalee.
We all know how Lanter play with Lee Sin kahapon. No? Kakita natin yung performance niya using Lee Sin dito. Talagang kailangan na i-ban ito ng team IPT because we all know kung gaano kahirap i-counter ang strategy when you're going against a Lee Sin champion. And take note, they banned out Kale as well. That can be very effective to support or to secure the objective of, sustaining power dito para sa inyong AD carry or any carry for your team. So, they banned out Nidalee as well. Casa din for team of HQ Fighters, most probably for IPT Light. You all know kung paano gumamit ng Nidalee si Light dito and Casa din as well. So far, pinag-iisipan ng team IPT ngayon kung sino yung last of ban nila against HQ Fighters. You never know what might happen dito. Though, possible na maging champion pick ng HQ Fighters dito ay Solution na naman. And syempre, there's a high possibility that either of the team will get Thresh once again for the support role. But since we have Brom na available na ngayon, Brom can possibly counter against a Thresh dito. So, if possible na siya gamitin against a Thresh, I think there's a high chance na manalo sila to go against a Thresh dito.
Alright, so the Twitch was finally banned out. We haven't seen much of Twitch lately, but IPT making sure not letting it go through. Final ban coming from HQ Fighter is LeBlanc, of course. Very high burst damage and roaming potential coming from LeBlanc. LeBlanc will be receiving a nerf in the upcoming patch, so the silence of LeBlanc will be removed if they push through with
It will
that.
turn into a sigil of malice. Sabi
That's
nga
right.
ni Riot dito, no more silence, just tears for LeBlanc in the mid lane. So, medyo mahihirapan, unfortunately, ang mga LeBlanc user natin dito sa pag-adjust using LeBlanc for the mid lane. And though, yung burst damage niya ay almost the same pa din kasi di naman nagbago yung kanyang AP ratio, yung AP based damage ng kanyang skills. But the thing is, napakalaking tulong sa kanya nung silence na ibibigay sa kanya dito. Not only na hindi lang yung skill, summoner spell ng champion ang mas silence, but also yung item nila. For example, meron siyang Zonya Sarglass. Hindi niya magagamit yung Zonya na yun kapag na-silence siya na magagaling from LeBlanc dito. But a good decision for AHQ fighters to ban out LeBlanc for the mid lane of Team IPT.
That's right. Alright, so like you mentioned a while ago, AHQ fighter do pick up the Thresh and they actually went for a Zed. Probably in the mid lane, IPT hero picking up the Lulu, of course, for IPT. I feel like Lulu will probably go to the mid lane and surprisingly a Yasuo pick up from IPT Light. So I think he will be playing this champion in the mid lane. You could expect Kaigu going for that Lucian, denying HQ fighter that Lucian. HQ fighter thinking of picking up Varus. I'm not so sure if they're gonna go with this. We'll have to see what they will pick up in response to this nice Lucian steal from IPT.
Gaya na sinabi ko, it's either they will get Lucian or they will ban Lucian. Kasi nakita natin kahapon kung gaano kagaling si RD gumamit ng Lucian dito. And sa kalaban nila, last night, actually HQ fighters did a pretty good job dito helping Lucian to secure his objective of winning the game dito. And last
Looks
night,
like RD right now is still undecided on what champion he was
will get
probably
Raven.
expecting to get that Lucian here. So I think he might end up going with Advardos here. We'll have to see though. Or maybe they'll save it for the last week. No, I don't think so.
well, possible na kunin niya si Draven dito since kahapon nakita natin si Fear na gumamit ng Draven against a Lucian.
Baka gusto niya pakitaan ng Draven skills.
Yes, Draven for RD for the AD carry of Team HQ Fighters dito. So gaya na sinabi ko kagabi, ginamit ni Fear din itong si Draven. I think yung kalaban nila kagabi ay I forget kung ano yung nakalaban kahapon ng team na IPD. So kung sino man yung team na kalaban nila kahapon, I think ang nagyari kasi dito, Lucian versus Draven in the bottom lane. So kahapon, I think it's against Bangkok Titans. Yes, we have Bangkok Titans kahapon ang kalaban nila. And Draven versus Lucian in the bottom lane. Naganda na performance dito ni Fear using Draven. Ang pinaka naging mahirap na sa kanya, syempre, kailangan mo saluhin yung axe every time na gumagamit ka ng normal hit dito for Draven. To at least dish out so much damage in the clashes na mangyayari in the later part of the game. Well, we'll see kung anong gagawin dito ni Fear to go against RD, Draven versus Lucian once again.
Yes, and I think the Gragas might be a jungler once again. Another Gragas jungle. This is like, I think every game we've seen so far, or we've shoutcast tonight, had a Gragas. First it was in the top lane, then we saw it in the jungle. It looks like we'll see another Gragas possibly in the jungle once again, maybe even the top lane. We'll have to see where that Gragas will be going later on. IPT locking in their last two champions, of course, Vi and Nami. Nami will be the support of Lucian this time around. It is actually a good combination for the two of them to be together. With the movement speed and the amount of crowd control Shadow can provide, it will be very beneficial for Fear on that Lucian.
Kung gagamitin man nitong si Sera, or means to si 5 era, Y5 era, ang si Shaco as their jungler dito, I think medyo risky pick to for their team. Pero anyway, since we have our teams na mga kaibigan, HQ versus Team IPT, bago ang lahat, tignan muna natin ang ating mga highlights for our teams na maglalaban ngayong gabing ito. Ang kanyang Lucian Courage dito, 1 versus 1, stronger versus Fear. Ano kaya gagawin dito ni Fear to get at least one champion, mga kaibigan, na iwan dito? Napakaganda pagpasok sa loob nitong si Fear with the wards na nandun sa team members ng IPT dito. Muntik nang makuha ni Fear ang buhay ni Wagan Trevor dito, pero Trevor goes down. that meditation para makapag-disengage sa laban na to. Emily Hughes taking so much damage. Mark is still pushing down the bottom lane, mga kaibigan. Trabaho lang, walang personalan. You have to use that intervention and he goes down once again sa laban na to. Almost enough, miss ang isang papuntang boomerang dito, but like still chasing dito si Issei Miyake and si Kansit Panton will be able to get the life of any champion of these two members of MSI Evo GT, or they will go and escape, mga kaibigan. A good use of his rubber ducky, duck. Team Ness against the MSI. Ness is still having the 1-7 score dito, mga kaibigan. Network as it pop out kay Oni. Oni taking so much damage. He have to use his brief walk, but it wasn't enough. He was ignited as well by Mineski. Kaigo dito in the top lane. Yes, they won another kill for the top lane dito. Sa bottom lane, pero hinahabol ngayon ni Bengal, ni Hero, si JLC, mga kaibigan, walang mana ang team members dito ng Wargad, and they have to disengage sa laban nito, pero napakagandang exclusive cast, secure isa pang kill, mga kaibigan, para kay Strong dito.
唢呐过来，老鼠绕后，这时候 KJJ 也知道自己稍微危险的点，所以选择站桩，立刻跟阿迪来互相搏火。那么兰特是飞到后面，把位置进一步的提出来。要继续带补。是的，哦，刚才这边勾出来，然后被翻，虽然是马上有。靠近也没有往左边行动，哇哈哈！不大一样，1C3闪千的1C3，然后加上石头人撞上来，看起来是一个兰特连跳连砍收头节奏。
15000这个直接灌
的撞起硬杀。
So far, ito na mga kaibigan, napakagandang highlights for both teams. Actually, IPT and AHQ Fighters dito. Pero let's go back sa ating game na ngayon. AHQ Fighters versus Team IPT. Game for tonight, Week 2, Day 2.
Alright, so we're watching, looking at HQ Fighter here. Looks like they might be an early invade here. See, 4 members of HQ, or 3 members of HQ are on the bottom side, while IPT are doing pretty much a mirror image of what HQ Fighter is doing right now. So, looking at the lineup here, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue this invade here. Of course, Thresh does have an advantage, but AC Fighter are aware that the IPT are not in that area. Looks like HQ Mr. Albis will spot all members of IPT here and
Mr.
they
Albi
will.
spotted them out. So far ngayon, I think this invade coming from Team IPT ay medyo...
I think they're gonna do for a double buff steal here. Maybe no, they won't. Gragas will resume or will return back to the top lane here, and most likely Zed is the jungler for HQ Fighter. Will do the red steal here on the side of IPT.
This ward can somehow help Team IPT dito to secure their objective of at least to know kung sino yung champion na mapupunta nila top lane. But since IPT dropped out a ward here, they're aware na AHQ Fighters ay nandun sa kanilang red buff dito. And isang maganda na ginawa kahapon ng Team BKT dito ay binantayan nila yung red buff ng kanilang kalaban. And not only that they stole the red buff of their opponent, but also they got their own red buff dito. So that gave a lot of disadvantage para sa jungler ng kanilang kalaban. As you can see, AHQ Fighters getting the first red buff of the game. And it's a jungle set for their team. Mr. Albis in the mid lane against IPT Light, mga kaibigan in the bottom lane. Here comes the play from Sera. We are taking a lot of damage. An exchange din naman ng Aqua Prison. Itong si RT still have to disengage ulit.
Yeah, that's a pretty good start actually for IPT there. You saw Light doing a lot of damage onto Mr. Albis, although Fear of course also received a lot of damage from Draven. Of course, Draven has a slight power advantage at level 1. And as you saw there, with the nice bubble coming, or Aqua Prison coming from Nami or IPT Shadow here, it denied a lot of that damage and saving IPT Fear from receiving furthermore any attacks coming from Draven.
IPT have to do something sa kanilang base lane. So, hindi sila dapat mag-hesitate. Whether they will go in or at least bigay sa kanila ng tulong to secure the objective of killing a champion dito or ganking any lanes. As you can see, IPT Light against Mr. Albis. Somehow, nagkakaroon sila ng advantage dito. Here comes the Aqua Prison, mga kaibigan, from Shadow. AHQ Fighters RT dito taking a lot of damage. He was exhausted of a flash in from IPT Fear dito. But he was ignited to 1v2 versus 2, mga kaibigan. Here comes Dante to respond. A heal for Fear dito, but there's a red buff, there's a blue buff, and yes, Fear will go down, Shadow will go down as well. Total it's a 2-for-1 exchange. Nice respond from Lantier dito. So 1 to score the early part of the game. I think medyo naging over commit sila dun.
Yes. Mr. Albis though doing a really good job of also denying a lot of damage coming from Light. Light though sustaining pretty well so far. Let's see if he can land his knock-up here. I don't think he'll throw it out just yet. Now back to the top lane. As you see, of course, Lulu will have the slight advantage over the Gragas at the early levels with the range poke coming from him.
Ooh, IPT Light against Mr. Albis, mga kaibigan. One more hit. But that's flashed out. IPT Light still have his Steel Tempest dito. Ooh, wow, you have to flash in, and at least he managed to end the life of Mr. Albis in the mid lane before dying. What a pretty good job for IPT Light dito.
Yeah, so IPT doing a really good job so far in this game. Although they are losing in kills so far, they were able to pick up the first blood and another kill. I feel like
decision?
Kaigu was not present in any of those team fights. If he was probably there, they'll probably have turned out a little bit better for IPT. So we have to see if Kaigu can transition into the mid game and make a little bit more plays for his team.
Surprisingly, IPT Heroes gaining the advantage against CCV in the top lane dito, having Lulu against Gragas. But take note, masyado nang naubos halos lahat ng mana nito sa IPT Hero. So he have to rely on sa kanyang Torrent's Ring na nagbibigay ng 5 mana every time na nakakapatay siya ng minion dito. Here comes Kaigu trying to gank the mid lane. Aqua Prison, mga kaibigan, once again from Shadow. Ay, halos lahat ng Aqua Prison niya in the bottom lane ay tumatama. So ito yung magandang advantage for team of IPT dito. So IPT Light, mga kaibigan, in the mid lane against Mr. Albis.
Oh, nice dodge coming from both Fear and Shadow.
Ooh, here comes Sander, mga kaibigan, with that Dark Passage from Sera dito. He was slowed down, but meron siyang buff dito from IPT Shadow. They still have to disengage since 3 versus 2. They are outnumbered to go against 3 champion in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and actually RD did not initiate that fight. Kaigo
waiting, patiently waiting mga kaibigan. But Albis, with that playful mixer, somehow managed to disengage here in the mid lane. 2-3 ang ating score. 200 gold difference in favor of AHQ fighters.
And Hero trying to use his best to harass CCB here. CCB will decide to go back to bait. IPT in a little bit of danger right now. HP down to about 1/3 right now. If a gank comes from Zed, which looks like is about to happen here, he may just go down.
IPT right mga kaibigan, still taking a lot of damage. Here comes the Vault Breaker from IPT Kaigo. Here comes the teleport from Hero in the meeting to help his comrade. Ginamit na ngayon ang Wild Growth just in time. Wow, IPT Hero responded to the top lane very well. Unfortunately, hindi sila nakakuha ng isang champion dito. Kung umabot lang sana yung level 6 ni Life using that last breath, they can surely kill a champion at least one in the mid lane.
That's
Yet,
right.
nice response from IPT Hero dito. So far, 2-3 pa rin ang ating score. And ang ating goal difference, yes, around 500 to 400 pa lang at this point of time.
Alright, looking at the CS right now, we can see here that Gragas has been able to pick up a lot of CS while Lulu went down to the mid lane to support IPT Light here. In the jungle though, the CS is pretty even, and now Fizz also picking up a few CS ahead of Light while he was gone when he went back to base to pick up his next item. Down in the bottom lane now, right now we can see here Fear does have the lead over RD in terms of CS. This is probably due to his first blood a while ago, denying RD a lot of CS opportunities while he was in the base. So far, looking at the score, the goal lead is in favor of HQ Fighter by about...
You're slowly catching up.
Yes.
So nakita natin na may isang kill ahead. And here comes the death mark mga kaibigan from IPT Shad. I mean, HQ Fighters land tier dito. Here comes the ignite for IPT Fear. But wow! Someone managed to disengage dito. Here comes the heal. Shadow still kiting those damage output. But here comes Light to respond in the bottom lane with that last breath. Unfortunate for them, wala siyang...
Oh,
wow!
no,
Death
it's
sentence
not there.
connected to IPT Fear dito. Here comes the Dark Passage and here comes Mr. Albis to respond in the bottom lane. Kaigu, here comes the last breath from IPT Light dito. Managed to end the life of one champion. What an exchange. Serra, did he go down? No! Wow! That 2-for-1 exchange in the bottom lane.
Very messy fight there. A lot of skill shots missing there. Hero getting knocked out by the ultimate of CCB here, but Hero with a lot of HP.
Sobrang na-utilize nila maayos yung kanyang explosive cast dun Ang layo ng tinalsik nila
Yeah.
Hero in the top lane. Siguro kaya nilang at least makakuha ng 3 or more kill. 2 to 3 kill kanina. But, karoon siguro sila ng some miscommunication or karoon sila ng pagkakamali sa pag-decide kung sino yung dapat nilang atakihin kanina.
Yeah, that's right. Anyways, Hero really pressuring CCB here. He did actually use his teleport a while back ago just to get back into lane here. Right now, HQ Fighter still with the lead with 2 kill advantage here and a slight gold lead of about 500. This game is really turning to be a very action-packed game so far. Only 9.5 minutes into the game and we've seen about 4 big plays coming from both teams.
Yes, wala pang nakakuha ng Dragon at this point of time. 9-minute mark. But yes, since meron ng boots of mobility itong si Serra, time to gank the mid lane dito and give Mr. Albis the advantage of winning his mid lane. But as you can see, both the champion and the top lane getting their special items dito. So yun si meron na siyang Chalice of Harmony, while Gragas getting his item for Rod of Ages.
Yeah, you just saw here Lantier clearing out a pink ward there, will picking up his own red buff. Looks like Kaigu is transitioning to the bottom lane in the meantime, and we'll try to probably make some plays in the bottom lane. Let's see. While in the top lane right now, CCB is trying to force Hero to engage here. Another ping ward watched by Lander. There's a second ping ward in the last minute here. A lot of the investments of IPT is going down due to that there is a ward there.
Dyan. So Kaigu fully charged his Vault Breaker dito. But he can't go in kasi wala siyang mahuhuli. And IPT Light with the help of IPT Hero, mga
I think this is
kaibigan.
gonna be exciting.
Here comes the gang from CCB. He used that explosive cast Deathmark, mga kaibigan. He used that wild growth. But I don't think it's a good idea for Light to go in and respond here. Karoon sila ng konting problema nung time na ginamit kagad dito ni CCB ang kanyang flash in and yung kanyang body slap. Umalbog itong si Hero and hirapan siyang gumawa ng play in the top lane. Though 3-6 score at this point of time, 1.2k gold difference. Kaigo got caught with that ultimate skill from Mr. Alvis, mga kaibigan. He have to use his Brave Bull Trickster and Q as well. Wow, bold assaulted battery for Mr. Alvis, but not enough.
Yes, so now another HQ fighter starting to pull ahead here. 1.5k gold lead over IPT here. Some nice plays coming from HQ fighter. I was really surprised with that fight in the top lane. I really thought that...
Ooh, here comes the play, the death sentence to the box from Mosera dito. Shadow was about to go down. With that ignite, RD managed to pick up a kill in the bottom lane. Nice play from AHQ fighters dito. And I think Kaigo is having a hard time to secure his objectives of, well, ganking any lanes dito. Here comes the Steel Tempest, mga kaibigan, from IPT Light. Ginamit ang kanyang last bet with that last hit in the, using his E-skill. Managed to end the life of Mr. Alvis in the mid. Flash in from Lantier dito with that red buff and blue buff. Light goes down in the mid lane.
That's right. Alright, looks like Thresh is roaming very well in the bottom lane. Here he plays a ward in the red buff. Fear has to be careful. A death sentence coming from that will be the death of him for sure.
RD,
backing
mga
away here.
kaibigan. Here comes the teleport from Hero. The bottom lane trying to help his comrade. IPT decided to go for Sera instead of focusing for RD. What happened? Here comes the explosive gas, mga kaibigan. IPT Hero managed to end the life of FRT dito. Here comes the tidal wave. Sera goes down. CCB was next in line and the double kill for IPT Veer. What a good job. And now they're heading for the Dragon. I
Yes.
thought it's a bad decision to go for Thresh dito, but they somehow managed to turn around the team fight doon. And
That was actually a good turnaround for
3
IPT.
for none actually.
We have to be careful now. We have two members of AHQ. Both assassins are here.
Ooh, here
They're
comes the
getting caught
piece of
here.
damage, but IPT Fear taking a lot of damage as well. Here comes Lantier, use that death mark for a dragon. They managed to end the life of 2 champions from Team IPT while IPT Light trying to respond here. Pero hindi siya umabot. Still ang ating goal difference ay 1,000. And still in favor of AHQ fighters. So IPT somehow managed to close the gap between IHQ fighters.
That's right. IPT Light here in the mid lane has to be a little bit careful. And nice play pushing it. Timing it
Tumalon
perfectly.
sa Steel Tempest dito si
Tumalon sa hangin.
si Fizz in the mid lane, though sinasabay niyang mabuti sa IPT Light. What a nice dodge. Using this dash in, dash out dito from IPT Light. With that sweeping blade, I think sila bibigay sa kanya ng advantage.
Right. Fear using his...
Ooh, here comes the Aqua Pieces from Shadow once again. HQ fighters, right, RD taking a lot of damage. Here comes the Bolt Breaker. Assault and battery managed to end the life of RD dito. IPT Light was exhausted, but here comes CCB. Other team members of HQ fighters responded mid lane as well. So I don't think Light can surely survive dito. Though IPT is trying their best to push the bottom lane.
Yes. And while that's happening, HQ Fighter is responding with the mid lane. Mr. and Alvis and Lantier looks like will be successfully pushed their first tower in the mid lane. This is a huge advantage for them. Nice positioning coming from them. IPT Fear will respond with the bottom lane just like you said.
Good rotation coming from IPT dito, though they are losing in some lanes. I mean, in the mid lane kanina, so you can see the ganks coming from team members of AHQ fighters dito. They're somehow trying their best to turn around the team fight dito. Getting other turrets, I mean, getting other objectives while they're
Hero has
losing.
to be very, very careful here. Lantier stealing away the blue buff. As you can see here, the members of IPT are trying to respond. Looks like they will not get there in time. They do have a ward. They're spotting that the two members of HQ Fighter has left the blue area. And
So,
right now,
if ever na tumama siguro yung ultimate dito ni Fizz, They can surely kill IPT Hero in the mid lane.
Yes, IPT Light looks like will go for Mercurius. Yes, he has already. Trying to negate some of that magic damage coming from Fizz here. Of course, the static shiv does provide him a lot of early damage. Let's see if IPT Light can convert to some more kills here. Draven all alone in the bottom lane picks up the third. 5 members
Here's the
of
chance of Team IPT to surely dominate the team fight dito because they have 3 knock-up skills. Here comes the sentence mga kaibigan. Hindi pa rin ginagawa. Here comes the last breath from IPT Light dito. Managed to end the life of Sarah. 1-1 exchange in the meeting. Mr. Alvis, Sony killing spree at this point of time. So they have to back out dito.
Yes, they have to be very careful because
Draven
Draven will be joining.
Skills na.
Yeah, Draven is joining the party in the mid lane. And they're quite healthy still after that. And they're now going to push in the mid lane. IPT Hero spotted by that war. Good thing he decided not to continue in his current path and decided to go around. Acro Prison not landing. CCP being very aggressive on the shadow.
Mama ang bodies ng mga kaibigan. Oops, nagkaroon yata ng konting problema si Kaiko using that Bolt Breaker. Doon tumama ang kanyang assaulted battery dito. They're chasing down RD. But Light can't initiate. Too deep. Kaiko used that Bolt Breaker. Here comes the Aqua Prison. Missed out. And I think there are some problems dito. IPT Light mga kaibigan. And the life of one champion shut down. Wow, it's actually it's a 3-4 on exchange. Very good job for Team IPT. AHQ Fighters committing so deep. I think hindi maganda yung ganong klase ng performance dito against a team na sumasabay pa sa inyo. Kasi mapapansin mo, you can surely dive in counter it. But not at this point of time. As you can see, halos pantay na pantay ang IHQ Fighters at IPT ngayon.
Yeah. But actually, the tower in the mid lane of IPT is almost about down. Actually, anybody could pretty much, even Draven could probably backdoor that if he wanted to. IPT has to continue their strategy of trying to push the mid lane. You can see IPT has learned a lot in the past week. They have invested in a lot of wards, trying to gain control of the vision of the map here. CCB getting caught out of position here. Hero trying to harass him down. Will get away there, of course, and will proceed to pushing in the top lane.
So far ngayon, CCB, more on focus sa kanyang AP item dito. So, since meron siyang Rod of Ages, he can still be a tanky champion using Gragas. And I think, meron medyo pagiging snappy yung galaw dito ni Kaiko. Wow, Aqua Prison! He used that last breath! Nice follow-up skills from Team IPT dito. They got the life of Mr. Alvis, and take note, it's a shutdown in the mid lane. So they're getting the first tier turret here in the mid lane as well. Wow, what a play for IPT dito. Sobrang ganda ng kanilang playstyle. And actually, they're dominating. Not actually dominating, but sumasabay sila na sobra ngayon against AHQ Fighters. They're ahead ngayon sa ating goal difference. Nice team play for IPT dito. AHQ Fighters.
Yeah, I think AHQ Fighters are surprised by the amount of vision they're actually denying.
Ooh, here comes the body slam mga kaibigan. A missed Bolt Breaker from Kaiko dito. Here comes the explosive cast just in time. He used his Wild Growth. Kaiko used that assaulted battery for Lancer dito. Kaiko take a lot of damage. No support coming from his comrades dito. RD managed to end the life of one champion. But Sarah, ooh, shut down the Yasuo dito. They're going very deep, and I think this is not so good for Team IPT.
Yeah, they use a lot of their knockups for saving each other instead, and because of that, Yasuo wasn't able to
use that dash in, and his health picks to kill at least one champion dito.
Ace.
And an ace for a HQ fighter and a dragon as well. This would somehow boost their gold lead once again. Of course, they will probably
mag-snowball ang item dito ng HQ Fighters with that exchange.
And right now,
The dragon as well.
HQ Fighter clearing out 2 pink wards of IPT
Not so good
here.
for Team IPT.
Alright, so it looks like 2 members of HQ Fighter will return back to base. Fizz will try to continue pushing in the mid lane. I think IPT should have no problem clearing those minion waves. That large minion wave in the mid lane should give him an item boost, or boost in items rather. And let's see what will be the next play coming from both teams will be. Most likely they're gonna have to try to push again another tower. As you can see in the mini-map, Lulu is proceeding to the top lane to stop a huge minion wave coming from HQ Fighter here. And look at the amount of sweeper wards, or sweepers rather, coming from HQ Fighter. There's really 4 sweeping lenses here. They are now aware of the amount of wards IPT is investing, and they're trying to deny or try to win back the vision war currently being handled by IPT. Look at that tower. 1 hit to go, and it will surely go down.
So far ngayon, 1-1 ating Ace sa Dragon. Though as you can see, 2-2 ang ating third destroyed dito. Pero HQ Fighters being a very dominant team pagdating sa kanilang pag-control sa mapa. As you can see, here comes the title wave. Hindi naman ang knock-up, but no good for IPT. He can't use his last breath since sobrang line ng kanyang kalaban and decided to go for RT. But ang bottom lane, ang top lane mga kaibigan, ay nakuha dito. Ginamit ang kanyang last breath. Managed to end up the life of one champion dito. RT goes down. But here comes Mr. Alvis. And here comes the death sentence from Sarah dito. IPT Shadow got caught with that ultimate coming from Mr. Alvis. But here comes the Wild Growth mga kaibigan. I think it's going to be a very good turnaround for Team IPT dito. They be able to enter the life of a champion. Mga kaibigan, Sarah taking a lot of damage. But a very snappy move coming from Team IPT. Yung time na yon. 3 champion of Team AHQ Fighters. Kaya, tig-isang ano na lang to eh. Tig-isang tama na lang ng Greater Lands.
Actually, to be quite honest, this game kinda reminds me of last season where HQ, not HQ Fighter, went against IPT as well. And the game was very exciting, similar to this, and though IPT did not fortunately win this match, hopefully this time around, IPT can do a little bit better.
HQ din ba yun?
Yes, HQ.
I thought TPA.
No, it was HQ.
So parang ano eh, ito yung may sinasabi-sabi yung mga player before na meron talagang weakness ang isang team eh. Kasi you can say na, ano mo yun, minsan sobrang galing nila sa ibang team, sobrang dominant sila. And may mga instances na ganito na parang against the team, katulad nila, they are our weakness. So sobrang lumalaban ngayon ng team ng IPT. Though nagkakaroon sila ng konting choke time, or let's say yung medyo pagkakamali nga in the later part of the game. But if this kind of play ay magtuloy-tuloy for Team IPT, I think mahirapan sila na makabawi. Lalong-lalo na nag-snowball na ang item ngayon from AHQ Fighters.
Yeah, actually the game that I was talking about is similar to what IPT did back then. They had a cheesy strategy of having 4 ability AP champions here. This time around, it basically revolves on knockups, and of course, Yasuo to be their main damager in those knockup transitions there. And IPT, for somehow still keeping that second, third in the mid lane alive here. Shadow getting caught by Thresh here. A push coming from Fizz here on the top lane. They have to start moving into him, or else he will probably pick up the tower. He decides to back away, realizing that he doesn't really have any teammates nearby. Lots of things coming out from HQ. They want to push down this third. There's only 1 hit from going down here. Let's see, right now Zed of course is also split pushing in the bottom lane. So IPT, I'm not really sure what they're waiting for here. And IPT Light might get caught out of position here by Fizz. Fizz decides not to show himself. And the tower will go down to RD. Yes, RD hits it with 1 axe. One of his spinning axe without any problems there. And looks like they're gonna group up here. Maybe they might even go for a Baron. Let's see how they play this out here.
16-20 score, 24-minute mark. 1-1 Dragon pa rin. Hindi pa nagre-respond ang ating third Dragon of the game. So far ngayon nakabawi ang Team HQ Fighters, and actually they're ahead around 6,000 gold difference. And medyo mahihirapan talaga ang team ng IPT Fear na makabawi against, IPT na makabawi against HQ Fighters for the upcoming clashes na mangyayari. Though, as you can see, nagsiset na ng position ng HQ Fighters dito. Ito ang vision na meron ng Team IPT, and this is the vision of Team HQ Fighters. Sobrang aggressive ng kanilang ward placement dito. They're more on focusing sa map control na meron na magagawa nila against IPT. Yeah, IPT. As you can see, hindi sila makapag-farm ng maayos, and they can't defend the bottom lane since 4 members of Team AHQ Fighters. So anytime na may isang member lang from IPT na mag-defend ng bottom lane, so they can surely get the Baron.
HQ Fighter has decided to start taking the Baron here. Wow, very fast Baron coming from
Wow.
HQ Fighter. That's
And here comes the ultimate for Mr. Albis. Managed to enter life 1 champion. Nami ay nahuli ng pating dito. Double kill for Mr. Albis. IPT for taking a lot of damage and he goes down from Lantier dito. And here comes IPT Hero. Double kill for AHQ Fighter Lantier. He used that Steel Tempest. He managed to get away. But CCB still chasing down IPT Light dito. Very unfortunate for them. A Baron and 4th champion for AHQ Fighters.
Yeah, surely AHQ Fighter will have no problem breaking down the middle turret of IPT here. This is a very dangerous position here. Although the HP are the death counters are still pretty low, for sure they will be able to defend their middle turret before the game ends.
So talaga no? Just an instant na isang pagkakamali lang can surely change the flow of the game. And sobrang laki ng naging disadvantage kanina ng Team IPT dito. Nawalan sila ng Here comes the assaulted battery mga kaibigan. HQ Fighters RD managed to use his normal hit to that dragon para makapag-dive steal siya. But IPT Light still chasing down IPT Hero against 2 member of Team HQ Fighters last year, being very aggressive. It's a 4 for none and it's an ace for Team HQ Fighters.
Wow, that's
what a play for RT dito. Using the dragon to get enough HP for his champion to survive the team fight in the jungle. Though, tumama ng maayos dito yung assault and battery, tumama din yung last breath coming from Yasuo, but it wasn't enough to kill a champion, especially Draven. Nice flash out dun sa dragon and konting pahampas-hampas or pabato-bato ng iyong axe dito. Surely give you enough life steal para masustain mo yung
and in that last 3 minutes here, the goal difference shot up because of the Baron and the 1-8 and a semi-8 coming from HQ Fighter, dropping basically IPT behind by about more than 15 or about 15,000 gold here, or 14,000 gold rather. So IPT has a lot of catching up to do now. They actually have a really nice composition here. They're just having a little bit of a hard time executing to its full ability. Of course, RD escaping death twice there. Like you said, that he used his normal attacks to heal back on that dragon pit.
Oh, here comes the ultimate na kaibigan for Mr. Albis.
Legendary.
Kahit may shield pa dito si Yasuo,
the burst damage is just too great.
Damage is too much actually. With that Rabadon's Zonya, his hunting guys, the least win item for his champion can surely dominate even Yasuo. So I think one thing kung ano naging problema dito ng IPT is because they lack vision. Actually in terms of getting a vision ward for themselves.
Actually, they had good vision to begin with. They just lost it. As you can see here, apat yung sweepers coming from HQ Fighter while they only have 2 and they weren't able to really clear as much vision from them.
Here comes that, that mark mga kaibigan from HQ Fighter last year. He's going to go against the life of 1 champion and yes, hit and run for Lantier. Here comes to the box from from HQ Fighter, Mr. Albis dito. Terra as well. Use the death sentence from IPT Hero. IPT Light survived, but with that last hit from RD dito, he goes down. IPT Shadow taking a lot of damage and he will go down. IPT Kaiku initiating the team fight dito with that barrel roll.
Looks like the game will be over. Whoa! RD acing the IPT. In the last second, they were just less than 100 HP to the fountain damage.
Tons of damage indeed coming from RD dito. Yes, a very good job for HQ Fighters. Congratulations winning the game against Team IPT. But yet,
HQ
very well played for IPT.
HQ really loves that field. A while ago we saw HQ West on that field. So dominating performance. Again, this time Mr. Albis from HQ Fighter this time around on the field. Once again, 16, 4, and 5. Just unbelievable scores. Master of Fizz, the IHQ teams are.
Yes, so let's look at our match stats for tonight's match. As you can see, IPT versus AHQ Fighters. In the early part of the game, hanggang mid-game, nakita naman natin kung gaano kaganda yung laban dito, kung gaano naging in favor sa team of IPT yung flow ng laban. But as you can see, in terms of initiating a team fight, it's all about AHQ fighters. Sila lagi pumapasok. But IPT, the reason why they got the advantage of, as you can see, lagi nilang turn around yung mga team fight dito. Kasi, ayun yung specialty ng IPT. It's all about turning around the team fight. It's all about the response coming from their teammates dito. And as you can see, Kaigu, I think, medyo nahihirapan siyang, I think, having Vi as his champion dito, medyo nahihirapan siyang i-control yung jungling route niya to go against his opponent. But as you can see, with that 166 score, it's pretty obvious na nahihirapan talaga siya. Though IHQ fighters, I think, maganda yung performance nila throughout the game. 16-4-5 for Mr. Albis, though Light surely dominated him in the mid lane dito. Naging problema nila talaga. Eh pagdating sa mga team fight, medyo nako-confuse sila kung to attack first or to
But nonetheless, I have to say IPT has significantly improved from day
sobrang
one.
laki lang in-improve nila.
From every game that we played so far, you see that they've improved in ward vision, they've improved in team play. This game alone, they just made a mistake in that near the Baron when they got caught, when Shadow got caught by that two ultimates, or the hook and the ultimate of Fizz there, which basically became a 4 versus 5, and even the Light was a bit far away when that happened. So
It all started, I think, nung sa blue buff, yung pinasok nila yung blue buff ng kanilang kalaban dito with the dragon. So,
yeah.
Kaigo used his assault and battery dito for his opponent. Unfortunately, it's very unfortunate for them. Apat na member ng Team AHQ Fighters was there to respond and help his comrade. Ito yung naging problema nila. After nung nag-snowball ang kanilang kalaban, lumayo yung kanilang goal difference. They got the dragon as well.
yeah, alright, so that's basically the end for week 2, day 2. The Taiwanese teams won every game. But
Halos
Taiwan is sweep, defeating every other country, of course, on the region tonight.
So far, ito ang ating schedule kanina. NFL against AHQ Esports, nanalo ang AHQ Esports, syempre from Taiwan. Taipei Assassins kanina from Taiwan as well. Next game, AHQ Esports once again versus Insidious Gaming Rebirth. Sila na naman nanalo, but sa last game natin, AHQ Fighters, puro AHQ. Actually, isang TPA, but we have 3 AHQ games for tonight. Imperium Pro Gaming Team against AHQ Fighters. AHQ Fighters ended the game very well. Congratulations, AHQ Fighters. And not a bad game for IPT.
Yeah, alright, so well, that will be it for tonight. Of course, tomorrow we still have another four games, yes, tomorrow night. So stay tuned lang kayo. Of course, the schedule will be posted on the GPL website. For more information, just visit gpl.garena.com.
Yan.
That's right.
And sa lahat pala ng gustong makaalam ng info about our ticket selling sa ating Rampage 2014, just visit lol.garena.ph/Rampage 2014. Nandiyan lahat ng information. Open tayo bukas, Friday, 8:30 p.m. Tama ba? Or
9 a.m. till 1 p.m.
Sorry,
Then from 2:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. That's Monday till Saturday, not including Sunday.
Yes, so far, sa lahat pa ng mga summoner na gusto makahingi ng information about our GPL, gpl.garena.com, and we have our PGS first games sa ating this coming Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, and I see here somebody's asking what happened to the War Gods fight last night. The game last night was cancelled due to connection problems from War Gods, so they decided to reschedule the match instead of going through with it, since we don't want to force our players into a bad
Mahirap nga
situation.
naman maglaro ng
Nangyari na yun sa kanila once so they couldn't, at the start of the game the connection was a little bit unstable to the point it was unplayable, and they had to forfeit the match to, I believe, SF5 if I wasn't mistaken.
Yes.
And,
Pero
so,
rest assured, magkakaroon tayo ng reschedule
yeah,
sa
it's been
kanilang
ready been
match dito.
rescheduled to next Friday. We'll be starting at 5 p.m. next Friday for that particular game. We'll be having 5 matches next Friday in the GPL, unless of course more games, hopefully not, get rescheduled.
Okay, so far sa lahat ng mga summoners, maraming salamat sa lahat na nanonood ngayong gabing ito. You're watching the Garena Premier League 2014 Summer Season. I am Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
Kita tayo ulit tomorrow, same time slot, 6 p.m. o hanggang 10 p.m.
That's
And
right.
again, you're watching GPL. Kita tayo ulit tomorrow. Thank you very much and God bless.